Hey everyone, welcome to the Burnt Brass Homestead channel. Look at this greenhouse. It is a mess. The weeds have taken over between the very end of winter and the start of spring. There are some leafy greens in here that we are still eating, but for the most part, the greenhouse has been overtaken by weeds. We need to get the greenhouse cleaned out so that we can transplant some plants as well as start some seeds. If your greenhouse or garden look anything like this, you are not alone and there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. This is life when you work, have a family to take care of, or when you simply procrastinate for a week or more. We are actually 1 month behind our planting schedule, and this is according to my personal goals. This is the third spring we are planting in the greenhouse. But I do not think I am taking full advantage of the greenhouse. Why? Because I should be planting crops like broccoli, lettuce, onions, kale, and so forth in late February or early March so that we have some crops to harvest by April. So starting next year, I really hope to get in the habit of starting my seeds earlier. But for now, it is time for us to get our hands dirty and get this greenhouse together. I want to show you this particular plant. This is a thistle. One of the names that it goes by is Canadian thistle, but there are so many names. This is kind of hard to remove from the garden organically. So when you see this, you want to pull it out from the roots, and eventually it'll start to thin out. Like, it's not as bad as it was last year. And you want to get to this plant before it starts to release seeds. But you also don't want to take a rake or a hoe and just chop it. You actually want to pull it straight up. And if you do that, you can see it comes up, and you can pull up some of the roots. Now it has runners that run deep in the soil. So eventually, as you keep removing it this way, they'll start to thin out. But you don't want to just take a rake and slice it, or a hoe, I should say, and just slice it, because all it's going to do is grow back in that same area as well as more. So if you just pull it straight up, you get a lot of the roots. So, and the more you do it this way, it'll start to thin out and you won't have to do it as much. And they come up really easy. This one is caught on the board, but as you can see, look how deep that goes. So that's what you have to do for that. This is how we have to manage this particular weed, because we do not spray anything in our garden. So no type of pesticides or harmful chemicals. We pretty much manage our garden as natural as possible. So I wanted to give you that tip. Don't let this go to seed. It's already hard to maintain as it is, and it came with some soil that we ordered. So we've had to deal with this the past maybe 3 years. Hey everyone, so we are done cleaning out the greenhouse. It took a couple hours, but it is pretty much done. We still have that back left area over there, but for the most part it's done. My husband cleaned out the side beds, which were full of weeds from over the winter. We didn't use those beds. And this front bed here is normally for herbs. So this, what you see here, is parsley that's left over. And back there, just outside of the bed, is cilantro right there. We're going to leave that because that's still edible. So we like to have cilantro on our rice here and there, and parsley in our salads. So we'll leave these here, while the other the parsley that I'm planting today starts to grow, and then we'll clean out the older parsley. The side beds are going to have tomatoes, and between the tomatoes there will be some basil, some chives, some onions, and this next bed here is going to be filled with carrots and bok choy. I believe I have to look at my spreadsheet. I like to make a spreadsheet so I can see where everything go, make sure plants are planted together that that are beneficial to each other and don't pull too much of the same nutrients out of the soil so they're not competing. In any event, this bed is going to be parsley and lettuce still. So lettuce is going to be on the right side where you see it now. The parsley is going to be in the center, and then on the far left. And then I'm just going to fill this bed with what is already still in here. I'll replant some of the lettuce and pull the spinach. The spinach will not be in here, so we'll pull the rest of the spinach. We'll eat the spinach and then plant various types of lettuce on the far right, and then parsley in the center, actually the two center rows, and then some more lettuce on the far left of this bed here. And then this back bed is going to be full of peppers, various peppers, bell peppers. I have some purple ones, old seeds that I collected. Hopefully they would germinate. So banana peppers, purple peppers, of course green peppers, which will turn red when they fully mature. This back bed here, there's Swiss chard back there. It needs to be weeded, but there's Swiss chard and other greens. This is going to pretty much stay in here, even though they're starting to seed. Yes, we are still eating off of this, but we are going to weed this. And as more tomatoes are ready to come into the greenhouse, we will pull the rest of this out and then put those tomatoes in here. But they're not ready to come in yet, so we're going to leave the stuff that we're still eating off of until we're ready to plant in those locations, those spots. Here is another look at the greenhouse. I am happy with the work we put in. I have transplanted some of the tomatoes. The herb bed is done, just waiting for the seeds to germinate and grow. All the beds have been watered really well. They will be watered every day until the roots have developed and are able to tap deeper into the soil. So my husband does a great job at watering them every single night. The bed on the right, the far right, will likely not get transplants until this time next month. However, the carrots, parsnip, bok choy, lettuce, peppers, and some of the tomatoes have been planted. More things will be planted over the next few days. We worked our butts off this past weekend, and I am so happy and excited to see the results in the next couple months. I really hope this video is motivating for you to get your garden started, whether on a large or small scale. Thanks for watching.